So I'm hypothesizing that you have a cold, and I'm looking for an S4, some other kind of symptom. So in that case, now you would test for this. Okay, and if you find that, oh yeah, that other symptom, we didn't notice it before, it's fact, it's there, or the test shows that you have something else that maybe wasn't visible except via a test, right? Like this might be sniffling and coughing or whatever, but they might do some kind of blood test or whatever, and yeah, that other thing is there, and that is now the set that supports the hypothesis H is S1, S2, S3, and S4. So the strength now of the induction is a little bit more because now you're getting more and more support of the hypothesis. This is largely the way that things work. So think of a hypothesis not just simply as you have a cold. It could be something bigger like, well, the universe gravitationally behaves according to Einstein's theory of general relativity. Okay, well, they observed certain, not symptoms, but examples, and then the theory, right, itself makes predictions. And one of the predictions that the theory made was these little, these gravitational waves. So scientists went around looking specifically, not just randomly looking through the world for stuff, but they were looking for gravitational waves because the theory, right, predicted it. And so when they found gravitational waves, it's like, wow, this is another thing that supports the theory. It doesn't prove it. You shouldn't say it proves it, but it's another piece of confirming evidence, right? Or evidence that supports the theory. Remember, we're in the land where premises partially support the conclusion. We don't have proofs in science in that way. We have proofs in mathematics and logic. In science, you talk about confirmation and disconfirmation, induction. So it's, increasing likelihoods and things like that. We don't have absolutes like we do in deductive logic. So if you think now to bring this back to writing, you would use this kind of idea of induction in your writing. Let's say you say in a piece of writing that you have to analyze. Like, for example, you're going to be analyzing one of Plato's dialogues. We'll look at it a little later, the Euthyphro. And you might have a hypothesis about the Euthyphro, that what the dialogue's about, right? And, you would base that hypothesis on some of the evidence that you found in the Euthyphro. And then if your hypothesis about the Euthyphro would make kind of predictions in some way, you might look through the dialogue for more things that confirm your hypothesis and try and show that the things that count against your hypothesis as are not important or aren't intrinsically relevant to the central meaning of the dialogue. So you're using largely a hypothesis testing model when you perform an interpretation. So the idea of interpreting the world and induction about the world, these are related terms. So in the sort of the final note for arguments here, at least as far as inductive arguments go, when it comes to reading and analyzing academic work, you're going to be working with a model that looks more like this, where you're putting forward some kind of interpretation of a work and then looking for support in the document to buttress your hypothesis about it.